Hello, it is Saturday, July 16th, 2022. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It is a Saturday puzzle today, so our second of two themeless puzzles for the week, and very possibly the most challenging puzzle of the week to date, and in total, I suppose, as well. I don't know. We'll have to see. Today's potentially challenging edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Jake Rodkin, Michael H., and, as always, the inestimable Hood Monster, the invaluable Timothy Mark, the inimitable Connor O'Neill, and the infallible Cynthia Toms. So thank you so much to the six of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for directly supporting this channel and help making this series a sustainable part of my daily work. I do very much appreciate that, and I appreciate everybody who has contributed to the Patreon campaign in any capacity. Thank you so much for your generous contributions. If you'd like to participate in that, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve, and for a few pounds a month or the equivalent in your local currency, you can find all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week, such as the weekly speed solve of mini puzzles that I just posted yesterday, which go up every Friday typically, and I'll have to figure out what to solve next. I noticed there's a new acrostic puzzle the New York Times has published, and I still need to do some more of the Constructor's Corner community created crosswords from the Discord server. Speaking of which, you can join that as well. There's a link in the description field underneath the video to join the Discord server and chat with other members of this community. And please do subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these videos, the YouTube channel. All right, let's get on to the puzzle. This is a Saturday themeless puzzle, as noted by Cameron Austin Collins, who's constructed a little over a dozen New York Times puzzles, relatively experienced constructor, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. It is themeless. Let's get started. Something you might write on. A pad, I don't know. Get in the mood, get in the zone. Once again, as yesterday, with these late week themeless puzzles, the cluing is often very ambiguous, and several things could fit in that space, so we'll need some crosses. Perhaps, I was going to say may, but it doesn't quite match, does it? Why don't I see what perhaps is? Cutoff point could be in the end or the top. God is one in a 2018 Ariana Grande hit. I actually don't know this, but I'm kind of guessing it's God is a woman, because that's a phrase, and it fits in 5 letters, and it just seems like it might be it. Does that help at all? Get in the sway? Is that something you might write on? I don't know about either of these, to be honest. I'm a little bit skeptical. Result of tails, perhaps. A coin flip? Is that what this is referring to? I don't know. I just don't know. Some rings on a plate. Onion rings, napkin holder ring things. I don't know, what are those called? I don't know. Putting greens in these courses might be expected. It could be greens, vegetables in meal courses. It could be greens on a golf course. Could be other things, potentially. Kind of shirt. The blouse is too long. Pie hole is your trap or your gob, maybe? Your mouth? Perhaps. Maw? Don't know. I'm really not getting anywhere, am I? Funshine or Love-A-Lot in Toondom. I don't know. Are those names of Care Bears, maybe? I have no clue. I don't think I recognize those, and I've never seen the Care Bears, but Care Bears came up in the crossword a couple of months ago, maybe, and I'm wondering if that's what these are. Cutoff point could be a cap, maybe? Some race starters. Pistols? Yes, you fire a starting pistol. Okay, I think we finally found the break into this puzzle here, at least in my case. Small pictures, perhaps, and some rings on a plate. Oh, calamari, that's what I was trying to think of. Squid. You get the rings of the squid's body in calamari. The way that it's, the way that you cut it. Fried calamari would be what this usually is, although not necessarily. Small pictures, perhaps. Right. What is this? Small pictures, art films or something? Does that work with this short one here? Handled well. If it's handled well, it was deft, maybe? Maybe this is art films. That's actually kind of surprising. So small in this case, meaning presumably commercially not huge. Words on a jacket, a book jacket, could have a biography. And L, Beckham of the NFL, I don't know. M here, Google search strings useful to linguists and literary historians. Oh, I actually think I know this. It's n-grams, maybe? This is something... Google has some sort of function by which you can search for the usage of particular words across kind of the whole corpus of language over decades or possibly even centuries, which is why it's useful for linguists and literary historians. I think it's called n-grams. Could be wrong about that. So anyway, small pictures looks like our art films after all, so this was indeed a fruitful corner to explore. Sources of some beams. Could be beams as in used in construction, or it could be beams as in smiles. Could be beams as in sunbeams, I suppose. Its participants are always tired. And someone to comfort and hold me in a #1 Mariah Carey hit. I don't know. Yeah, just don't think I know. Byproduct of kissing a pet, maybe. Byproduct of kissing a pet, maybe. I don't know. Fur in your mouth? I don't know what this is getting at. Let's see. Well, I ran out of steam on that one, didn't I? We looked at all of these downs. Oh, putting greens in these courses might be expected. That's probably not putting greens. It's probably putting greens, as in putting in golf. I don't think I still know it. I still don't think I know what that is. This probably ends with an S. Mythical race. Ogres, giants, elves. I don't know. What is a mythical race? Dragons? Maybe a mythical race of non-humanoid creatures? I don't know. Once again, extremely broad scope there. Okay, deep learning tech. Machine learning, a neural network? Neural net? Neural nets, maybe? Actually, it could be. I was going to say, well, neural nets is a contraction of, an abbreviation of neural networks, but tech is itself a shortened form of technology, so the clue could be indicating that. That would work with God as a woman, actually. What about this? Result of tails, perhaps, right? So it could be tails as in a coin flip. It could be tails as in somebody tailing you. So private investigator tailing you. What is the result of that exactly? I'm not sure. Soldier Doll, Mouse King, and Sugar Plum Fairy in the Nutcracker. What on earth would those characters have in common? They're different gendered roles, so they wouldn't have the same vocal range. Well, no, but they don't sing anyway. It's a ballet, so that's irrelevant. What would be similar about these? The parts, presumably solo parts? I mean, they all get sort of featured. Well, no, Soldier Doll doesn't really get a featured dance. Mouse King and Sugar Plum Fairy would. I'm not really sure. Sorry, I'm probably overcomplicating this, but I'm not sure what it is. Anyway. Pie hole, your yap, maybe? Or is that a name for a mouth? Perhaps. Maybe it is may. It doesn't seem like it fits. I may do this, I perhaps do this, or perhaps that will happen, may that will happen. It just doesn't. I must be missing something. An aloha shirt, a Hawaiian shirt? Is that a kind of shirt? Oh, maybe the soldier doll. Right, sorry. It's probably the soldier that Clara sort of falls in love with, as opposed to, I was thinking one of the Mouse King's soldiers, but that's probably not Well, I don't know. So maybe it is a solo part. I don't know. Sorry. I need to stop focusing on this clue. Farther away, in a sense. Colder, maybe, a person, metaphorically, which is why it's saying in a sense. Name synonymous with longevity, Methuselah. Methuselah, sorry. Methuselah. There we go. Biblical figure of famously long life. Okay. Oh, pudding. Okay. So I was right the first time. It's not putting greens in these courses might be expected. It's putting greens. To put greens in this food course might be expected. And they're salads. Ah, perhaps is say. That makes more sense. And for some reason, I couldn't bring it to mind. So perhaps that's the answer. Say. That's the answer. Say. The answer, perhaps. And certainly in this case, beloved pop. Something dad. Granddad or something? That men may rise on their stepping stones of their dead blank to higher things. Oh, I'm not sure offhand. Tennyson. Don't know. Beckham of the NFL. All right, let's keep looking over here for now. Edit, e.g. Clear, to clear text, to edit the text, isn't, I don't know. Get in the, this doesn't look like anything to me. Get in the swim, is that something? What is that? Get in the only word I can think of that fits there is get in the swim, but that doesn't, I don't think I know that. I wonder if that's a sort of modern phrase, or maybe it's an older phrase. I don't know. Does that work with anything else? Something you might write on. If this were an S, write on. Well, I mean, I suppose it could be something you physically write on, but it could also be a sort of subject you write on. I'm writing on spec. You could say I'm writing a spec script, so speculative. So it's not something that's been asked for. You're writing it on spec, and then you're hoping someone will be interested in it. Okay, so this must be get in the swim. I guess I've probably heard that before, but it's not a phrase I've used or that I'm very familiar with. Oh, result of tails, perhaps. Is it I lose, maybe? Heads I win, tails I lose. Or heads I win, tails you lose, as the joke version goes. Propelled oneself on ski. Oh, yeah, maybe this is. Propelled oneself on skis. You could use the ski poles to propel yourself faster. And if someone wasn't stoic, they emoted. They showed their emotions instead of stoically masking them. Some prizes, cash awards, maybe? Does that work? Oh, dear old dad, beloved pop. There we go. Mythical race dwarfs. Probably about the only one I didn't say. Oh, well, that's fine. Edit, e.g. is alter, yes, of course. And that men may rise on their stepping stones of their dead selves. Oh, on stepping stones of their dead selves to higher things. Alfred Lord Tennyson. There we go. That's a great excerpt. Okay, in order, sorted. See it, say it, sorted, as the announcer person on the tube here in London says all the time. I think that might actually be wider scale than just London in the UK. Anyway, Philadelphia Art Museum with the, is it the Barnes? That kind of sounds familiar. Let's put that in and see if we can get any crosses there. Emergency device in DC. So it could mean DC District of Columbia. It could mean direct current. And I don't know which it is. Let's look elsewhere. Buttercup relatives. It's a flower, I guess. Like a raccoon's tail. Banded? Raccoon's tails have bands of colors generally, don't they? Blast of the past in brief. And California City in the Mojave Desert. Oh, I should probably know this, but I don't think I can bring it to mind offhand. I don't know. I'll probably see it when there's some more crosses in there. Curveball stat for short. I don't know. Is it RBI? That's the only baseball statistic I can remember. It's probably not RBI. What would that be? I don't know. I'm not going to think about it. Initiate post-production. The thing is, I wonder if this is initiate, as in a person. So initiate is a verb, and then an initiate is a person, someone who's been or is being initiated. Post-production. Initiate post-production. I'm not sure. One might be a pop-up store, a pop-up ad, a pop-up like a bajillion dollars. I don't know. Brightness or darkness in musical terms. Gets in line. Oscar Q's? That's too many letters. About 800 U's and E's go in Q. Gets in line. Oh, well, it does end with an S. Supergroup at Woodstock familiarly. I'm not sure offhand what. Déjà vu. So déjà vu is obviously the phrase derived from French that refers to sort of the sensation of already having experienced something. So what's déjà vu? See again, perhaps? In French, déjà is used to mean already, as in I've already done that or something like that. So that would make sense with this. And what was the supergroup at Woodstock familiarly? I'm not sure. I don't know if I should know that or not. Byproduct of kissing a pet, maybe. Dog something? Beckham of the NFL. Odell Beckham? Name could kind of work either way, although Odell Beckham seems more likely. Someone to comfort and hold me. A dream someone or something, maybe? Like Dream Lover, isn't that a song? But I think that's an older song. I don't think that's a Mariah Carey song. Yeah, that's from the 60s, I think. Sources of some beams. One-time Edison protege. Tesla, maybe? Maybe this is Dream. Did Mariah Carey cover that song, perhaps? I'm not sure. I could be on the wrong track entirely. Curling iron's functional opposite. Straightener. Functional opposite. Its participants are always tired. Oh, NASCAR? They have literal tires on the cars? If that's the answer, I can't believe it's NASCAR, the car racing league or whatever it is. If that's the answer, I can't believe this doesn't have a question mark on the clue, because tired isn't, usually when you have a pun like this without a question mark, it's because you don't really need to think about it in a punny way, but tired, I'm tired, meaning I have tires on my car. It's not a thing. This might not be the answer for all I know, but that's funny if so. Sources of some beams. And curling iron's functional opposite. Right, what is this? I'm not sure. Inactivity is... And byproduct of kissing a pet, maybe. Dog slobber. Oh. Byproduct of kissing a pet. Sort of slightly strangely phrased, in the sense that the dog slobber isn't the result of kissing a pet. It's not as though the slobber exists because, I guess, is the implication that by kissing the pet, the dog is then excited and it slobbers? I mean, getting dog slobber on yourself might be the result of kissing a pet, but the slobber itself, I don't know strictly you could say it is. Sorry, this is getting pointless. I'm going to move on. Sources of some beams, laser beams. There we go. Okay, probably should have been a little bit easier. Printer setting is what? And curling iron's functional opposite. Oh, a comb, some kind of comb. And then does that help with this? Slow dance. And gets in line. So gets in line could be cues up, or it could be sort of behaves well. Stops misbehaving, that sort of thing. But I'm not sure which it is. Arouse. Do stir or to attract or to excite or to prod or something? I don't know. Viscous. A viscous liquid. It's sort of, it could be a thick liquid or what? I don't know. If this were an R, let's try a few possibilities here. So if that were a V, gets in line. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's actually the song. Let's see. What else can we look at here? Oscar Wilde's Salome, e.g. Not sure what that's looking for. And then worldwide blank, nickname of an NBA power broker. Is it Webb, maybe? Is it someone's actually named Webb worldwide? Or it could be a name that rhymes with Webb, like Deb or something. I don't know. If this were W, California City in the Mojave Desert. I was hoping that would ring a bell, but I don't think it is. Emergency device in D.C. Oh, boy. Made pretty good progress to the top half of the grid, but not so much now. Supergroup at Woodstock, familiarly. Okay, this is almost certainly S, because I don't think there's enough room. The way that this wouldn't be an S would be if it were two words and the S were earlier at the end of the first word, but there's not enough room for that. So, supergroup at Woodstock. What's an example of a supergroup that would have been playing when Woodstock was around? The most obvious to me would be Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, which actually could be the answer. This would have to be not Re-C. If this were Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, CSNY, Deja Vu, rerun, no, rerun? I guess I was trying to think of view as a verb, but yeah, I guess this is just a bit less strict in certain terms of the part of speech, so it's just a bit punny. So rerun, or maybe it is reran. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll leave that blank for now. So if this is CSNY, viscous, something E, so it's an adjective, that makes sense. Gets in line. I don't know. Like a bajillion dollars. Like a bajillion dollars. Does it end with IC because it's also an adjective? Gets in line. Arouse. I don't know if that's IC, but it seems like the most likely. Slow dance. This is very difficult, actually, for me right now. Arouse. If this were an R, arouse could be something up. Gin up, as in arouse interest? Gin up interest? Is that what it is? Could this be a G? Initiate post-production. Okay, it doesn't end with ing because that would make this basically impossible. What if this were dream lover? I don't know if it is, but what if it is? Oh, hyperbolic, like a bajillion dollars, because a bajillion is not a real number, so it's sort of hyperbolically enormous. Slow dance. Oh, bolero. Right. And gets in line evens, as in gets something physically in line with something else, evens it out. So in woodworking or construction or something, and then arouse is indeed gin up. Okay. So initiate post-production, or initiate. Is it blog or something that ends with log? Start a blog? Oh, that's funny. Wow, what a clever clue. To start a blog is to initiate the production of posts. Posts as in postings to a website. To start a blog, to initiate post-production. That's incredibly clever. That's one of the most clever clues I've seen in a while, and it stumped me for quite a while. So printer setting could be letter sized paper, which is common in the United States. Letter-sized paper in North America, generally, I would assume. Inactivity. Oh, torpor. Torpor. So you're kind of just inactive. You're idle. You're tired and inactive. Curling iron's functional opposite. Oh, a hot comb. And then actress Atwell Haley, maybe? That looks like a name. I mean, it is a name. It looks like it's plausibly this name, perhaps. I'm not sure, but let's leave it in for now, and we'll correct it if need be. God with the head of an ibis. Oh, I know this, and I just can't think. That's so frustrating. What is this? Brightness or darkness in musical terms? Brightness or darkness in musical terms. I mean, color, some sort of color. Oh, this is Thoth or something? Is that right? I don't know if that's right. I thought I was going to know it. Now I'm doubting myself. Short, oh, shy. I'm short money, shy money. Yep, there we go. And then ER units are cc's, cubic centimeters of liquid or what have you. Oscar Wilde, Salome. Oh, why don't I see it? Brightness or darkness in musical terms? Tone color? I'm not exactly sure what this is asking for. Color makes sense, but blank jacket. A pea jacket? Is that what this is? Pea coat is usually what I'd say. They'll call that, so maybe not. One might be a pop-up. Okay, I'm running out of new crosses, actually. Emergency device in DC. I kind of suspect this is related to electricity rather than Washington District of Columbia, but I just don't know what it actually is. Blast of the past, in brief. Oh, it could be a nuclear weapons testing, and actually in the crossword, that kind of thing can be clued as A test for atomic test, or H test for hydrogen test, or N test for nuclear test. Although, actually, of those, only A looks very plausible. I suppose H is possible. Seems less likely. Well, can I get anything else? Emergency device in DC. Oh, battery or something? Buttercup relatives. I just don't know this one. That didn't get me anything. Curveball stat for short. Okay, what if this were RBI? What if this were the only one I know? Bat. Oh, is it DC Comics that publishes Batman? And it's a bat something that Batman has? Because his devices all tend to be named Bat something. I don't know any of them, though. That's annoying. Batarang is the main one I can think of, right? Which is his little... The boomerang, Batarang. Maybe it's not RBI. If it were Batarang, does that help? Worldwide, doesn't look right. Worldwide egg. Probably not the answer. Bat. Boy, I wonder if that's really what's going on here. One might be a pop-up shop. Right, what did I say? Store before? Why didn't I think of shop, which is a synonym for store that fits here? And brightness or darkness in musical terms. What did I say that was? Tone color, maybe? And this would be a P jacket. Okay, that's probably the answer after all, if that's PE. Bat what? This is actually looking less likely to be RBI, I have to say. Bat, but yeah, that doesn't look right. Buttercup relatives. Anemones? Could this be World Wide Web? Bat shoes, emergency device? I don't know. This is really, really wrecking me down here. So what? Bat phone? Emergency device, bat phone? That would make this not RBI, but I kind of already thought it wasn't. Curveball stat for short. Boy, I just have no idea. I wonder if this isn't even baseball related, maybe, and a curveball just is being used in the metaphorical sense of an unexpected occurrence. This really looks like anemones, doesn't it? Maybe that's the answer. I was going to say it's mph or miles per hour, but RPM? Revolutions per minute? Because it's a curveball and it needs spin? Is that something can you track that? Do we have the technology for that? I guess we must. That's amazing. Oscar Wilde Salome, a one-act play. Worldwide Wes would be a funny name for an NBA power broker, maybe. Barstow, California. That kind of sounds familiar. I didn't recognize it as easily as I thought I would, but there we go. Okay, wow, what a tough part of the grid for me. That was very, very challenging. So I struggled to break into the puzzle, but then once I did, I made pretty good progress, I think, starting in the Northeast and then moving over kind of, I guess, in bits both to the Northwest and Southeast, and then really got stuck down here in the Southwest and I guess appropriate position for the Mojave Desert in the Southwest. And that just gave me quite a lot of trouble. Really struggled there. There were some very clever clues in this puzzle, some very clever misdirection. Emergency device in DC, meaning DC Comics, neither of the two meanings I suspected it might be. We had, what were some other very clever ones? Oh, by the way, this was Dream Lover. So I wonder if that's an original song or a cover of the other one. Anyway, what else? I know there were some very good ones over here. Yes, this initiate post-production is to start a blog. That is just unbelievably clever. That's an incredibly clever clue. There were all sorts of clever bits in this puzzle. Sources of some beams being lasers is funny in that it's actually incredibly straightforward, more straightforward than those other ones I mentioned. But for some reason, it didn't. I just didn't get it. I guess because again, beams can be so many different things. Something you might write on spec is also pretty clever. There were just some good. There were some very good clues in this puzzle. Yeah, good misdirection. A very, very fitting Saturday puzzle. This is what we expect on a Saturday, I think. And now let's discuss a few clues from yesterday's puzzle. How about that? The Friday first of two themeless puzzles. James Dickey reminds me that a pram could be called a stroller in the U.S. That was the word I was looking for. I could not think of the U.S. equivalent. I don't know why. My brain went completely blank. Couldn't think of a stroller. Several people pointed it out, but I think James Dickey was the first one. And James Dickey also pointed out the ACL is the anterior cruciate ligament, which is one of the ligaments in your knee, and very common athletic injury. You hear about people injuring their ACL all the time. And James Dickey, this was sort of interesting. So there was that clue about, I guess James Dickey is the same person I just read. James Dickey was very active yesterday. There was that clue about the patented cup holder armrest combination. And initially I thought, I think this is going to be an auto manufacturer. I can't think of what it is. It's a defunct car manufacturer. And then I got the answer and it said, it's AMC, the theater chain in the United States. And AMC, as it turns out, was also, as I was thinking, an automobile manufacturer. James Dickey says, AMC is the American Motors Corporation. They were bought out by Chrysler in the 1980s. But as it turns out, the combination cup holder and armrest was indeed the source of the patent. So Kathleen Quinn explains, AMC Entertaining Holdings, doing business as AMC Theaters, is generically known as AMC and is the largest movie chain company in the world. AMC patented this cup holder armrest in 1981. So right around the time that the American Motors Corporation was bought out by Chrysler and ceased to exist as its own entity. And I actually looked this up. I looked up the patent thing myself after the puzzle because I was curious, and I found the diagram. Patented by AMC, the movie theater chain. So anyway, it's funny that AMC was plausibly two different companies that would conceivably patent an armrest cup holder. Anyway, Mike Crawford explains Buck O'Neill, the baseball player whose name I sort of recognized but wouldn't have been able to tell you anything about, was a player and manager for the Kansas City Monarchs in the Negro Leagues. He was later the first African-American coach in Major League Baseball. Kudos for nailing 2 sports clues in the same puzzle. Thank you. It probably won't happen again anytime soon. And that's that for the clues from yesterday's puzzle that I had earmarked. And that's that for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow for the Sunday puzzle, a much larger puzzle on a much larger grid, but shouldn't be as tough as this one. That's my suspicion. Probably won't get hung up as long in some corner of that large grid. So do come back, do join me for the Sunday puzzle, but until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Saturday. Take care.